This is section 5.3, point slope form, still a part of unit 4. Okay, so point slope form is just a different way to write a linear equation. So remember, already we talked about slope-intercept form, and that was y equals mx plus b. Point slope form is going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And in that formula, the m still stands for the slope, and x1, y1 is a point that falls on the line. Okay, so it doesn't matter which point on the line. It just has to be any point that falls on the line, and then m is still its slope. Okay, example 1. Write an equation in point-slope form. So, write the equation of the line in point-slope form that passes through the point 4, negative 3, and has a slope of 2. So remember our formula, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So notice that the formula is written as subtraction, so you have to be very careful with that. So we're going to plug in 2 where we see m, and we're going to plug in 4 for x1 and negative 3 for y1. So y minus a negative 3 equals 2 times x minus 4. So the only thing you have to do to finish this is to go ahead and make minus a negative 3 a plus. So y equals, or y plus 3 equals 2 times x minus 4. And that would be the final answer for writing it in point slope form. So now the second part is saying write this equation in slope-intercept form. So if we're going to do that, point slope form can kind of be a tool to get there. So we're going to take our answer and we're going to try and get the y by itself. Because if the y is by itself, well then now it's in y equals mx plus b, or slope-intercept form. So first thing we're going to do that is to go ahead and distribute the 2. So you get y plus 3 equals 2x, 2 times 4, minus 8. And now to get y by itself, we just have to subtract 3 from both sides. And remember, 3 and 8 are like terms, that's why we're combining them. 2x is not a like term. So we're left with y equals 2x minus 11. Alright, so keep in mind, point slope form, it's useful because it's sort of just another way to look at lines, but for the most part, it's going to be a tool that gets us to slope-intercept form. So if you think back to the last section, there were times where we gave you a slope and a point, and you had to put it in slope-intercept form. So this is now another way that you can do that. For example 3, we're going to use point slope form to write an equation that we see given a graph. So I'm going to do it using each point to show you that you're still going to end up with the same slope-intercept form. Alright, so we're actually going to do this twice. So keep in mind that you still have to have the slope, and then you need a point. Alright, so the slope in this case, if I count between the 2 points they've given me, down 2 and to the right 2, that's going to be a slope of negative 1. Negative 2 divided by 2 equals negative 1. Alright, and now the point does not matter which point I choose. So I'm going to start with the first one. Negative 1, 3. Alright, and now I'm going to put it in point slope form. So y minus 3 equals negative 1 times x minus a negative 1. Okay, well minus a negative is going to become plus. But otherwise, that would be the equation of this line in point slope form. Now we're going to do the same thing again, except this time we're going to use the other point. So again, our slope is -1, except this time we're going to use the point 1, 1. So now y minus 1 equals -1 times x minus 1. Alright, and that would be your final answer in point slope form. Okay, so now we want to take these equations in point slope form and change them so that they're in slope intercept form. So remember, I'm trying to get y by itself, and these are the two different equations we got. So again, I'm going to distribute, so I get y minus 3 equals -x, or -1x, minus 1, negative times a positive, and now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I get y equals -x plus 2. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. So I get y minus 1 equals -x plus 1. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides, so I get y equals -x plus 2. So, what's cool about this, again, point slope form is a tool most of the time to get you to slope intercept form. So if you look, even it didn't matter which point we used, we still ended up with the same slope intercept form. Alright, so I want you to think of it as a tool, and I want you to remember that it doesn't matter what point you're choosing. Alright, keep in mind our goal is we always need to find the slope, and in this case we're using the point to get to the y-intercept. And that's it for this section.